Hey Phil, hello. I'm gonna need a few minutes to get the stream started, so let me put up a countdown. Can we do a 15-minute stream start? 10-minute? Maybe 10 minutes is enough. Work running? No. Oh, wait, this is 10 hours. That's the problem. Okay, I'll be right back. Hello, everybody. Hello, hello. Okay, let me test if YouTube works. YouTube does work. Cool. Okay, so my code is not complete garbage. That's nice. Let me see. How's my microphone volume? I think it's fine. Yeah, should be fine. Why am I not hearing myself though? Test, test, test. Oh, I think, okay, I think I figured it out why. I think it should be like this. Yeah. Okay. Okay, let's wait a few minutes more. You know what? I should probably announce also on good old social media. Hello, bouncy deers. So maybe while we wait, I don't know, what do people do while they're waiting? We go read Hacker News? Anything interesting on Hacker News? Maybe I should keep it like this. NVIDIA open source tonight. Continuous level detailed mesh library. Apple scraps work on Mac connected augmented reality glasses. Oh, like a lightweight version of their headset. Oh God, no. Okay. You know what, Bloomberg? It's fine. I don't need to read your blog post. Goodbye. Blah, blah, blah. Mitochondria as you've never seen them. The Gaming History Foundation library opens in early access. Okay, what's in the library? Jump to magazines. Hello, hello. Wait. Where's the actual thing? Volume 9. Where's the actual thing? Am I going insane? Are you not? Wait, is this just like listing the existence of these things, not like having them for real? Okay, let's go back to promotional materials, I guess. Collections. Jump to production material. I don't know what production material is supposed to be. Game production audio assorted. Container inventory. Unable to go there. What am I missing? Ultima 7. The Blackgate voiceover source backup tape. Dot. I feel like I'm having a stroke. Where's the content? Like, I get the metadata. Wait. Are we like too zoomed in? No. Oh. Play. Okay, so that was it? Wait, let me go back then to magazines. 64 magazine. Container. Actually, from here, I click volume 9. Ah, man, but then what do I click from here? Location. 64 magazines. No, this, okay. Give me this other one. Identifier. Where is it, man? Okay. I guess we go back to Hacker News. Popular Linux organizations, Free Desktop, and Alpine Linux are scrambling for a new web host. Can you ask questions while waiting about Zig? Yeah, for sure. Yes. Ask whenever you want. Absolutely. Absolutely. Let's see. For desktop needs $24,000 a month of stuff. Okay. Borg is not showing YouTube chat yet? What do you mean? Wait, didn't you ask this question on YouTube? Wait, aren't you asking these questions on YouTube? Oh, you know what's going on, maybe? Well, I was about to say maybe it's delay, but it shouldn't be this much. So in any case, no, the answer is no. Your Borg it does show YouTube chat. Yes, it does. So I can see your messages. I think that you might be lagging behind like a lot. If it seems to you with this much delay, because it took a while to send a message. So with this much delay, if you don't see this yet, then you probably have very big delay. I have a non-negligible amount of delay on YouTube because I'm using normal latency. I'm not using low latency streaming on YouTube. And there's a little bit of delay before messages do show up in Borg, up to, I think, 10 seconds. But yeah. Hello, nickname dev. Considering somehow indicating message source. Yeah, I should. I just wanted to, fix all the things around it first, and apparently that's complicated. Man, I love Zig. Thanks for doing so much for the community. Keep it up. It's made programming for me fun again. Nice. The strictness of Rust and the complexity of C++ is no fun, in my opinion. Well, glad that you found a tool that helps you be productive. Black Blaze seemingly does not support files greater than 1 terabyte. AMD microcode signature verification vulnerability. Oh no. Windows 11, there's still nothing worth my time. Oh no. Why cookies? I don't care about cookies. Why does this website want cookies? What is this website? It's a blog. Why do you care about cookies, man? I power on my test laptop, which has Windows 11 installed on it in a dual boot setup, and I check whether anything has currently changed in this system. My last escapade back in September was rife with problems. But it's not all gloomy. I recently read an article on the register which shows that not only has Windows 11 user share not grown, it has shrunk. Oh no, Microsoft. With 10 months of support remaining, Windows 10 still dominates. StackHunter figures show Windows 11 losing user love. I mean, I never used Windows 11. I guess I will have to update to it at some point when it goes out of support, I guess. But honestly, this stuff is more and more making me want to ditch Windows completely and just stay on Linux and Mac full time. I used to, like, the main reason why I have Windows, well, it used to be two reasons. Video games and OBS. OBS used to work much better on Windows than it did on macOS and Linux. But this stuff has changed. Actually, nowadays, OBS works pretty well also on macOS. And as for games, yeah, you can get them working on other platforms, so it's kind of annoying. Let's see. Mitchell wrote, memmove is faster than Zig copy forwards. Why is memmove faster than SD mem copy forwards? Good question. I'm not sure. No idea. Let's take a look at what does copy forwards do. Like how it's implemented. Just a for loop. So I think if I remember correctly, mmove implementations tend to have a ton of hardware specific special casing where there's like some loop unrolling, but not complete loop unrolling. They like work hard to find like very precise sweet spots where they can get the best performance on a given system. I don't have links to this stuff, but I remember a while ago some discussions about this, about mmove and how this was implemented. Like I remember taking a peek at some implementation and seeing that it had like actually a lot of branching going on, because it was, as I said, it was doing a bit of loop unrolling, but not doing so like in a naive way. There was like a lot of logic behind all these things. So yeah. If the link is not displayed, is the link not displayed? I don't see your link even in my chat here. What the heck? Wait a second. Like I have a moderator chat and I don't see any link from you. But by the way, this is another thing that makes YouTube kind of ass. Like if you sent a link, I cannot see it. Here's the link actually. Oh. You can check Ghosty's fastmem.zig. Yeah. Can I share a repo? Sure. It's almost the same as Zig's copy forwards. Okay, let's take a look at fastmem. Hey, hey, I'm lag. Hey, Lago. Another lang. Okay. I'm gonna open this, but first we go on Ghosty. Ghosty. Okay, so what this is saying is if we're linking against libc, use memmove, which how are we getting memmove? We're getting memmove as an extern. Okay. Well, the point is that there's no implementation here, or rather, you can see the implementation of move, but as you can see, the only thing this thing is doing is choosing whether to use the Zig implementation or to use the libc implementation, and when we link against libc. So same as ddmem copy forwards, but prefers libc and move if it is available because it is generally much faster. You would have to go look at the implementation of mem move in a libc. You know what? Let's take a look at what Muscle has for that. glibc, yeah. Look, I'm not gonna take a look at glibc source code. It's horrible. I will look at Muscle. So somebody has like, there's a bunch of forks of Muscle, you know, on GitHub. So usually I find a random one. There we go. Yeah, mem move s. So this is the i386 one. Let's see. Let's go to something more, I don't know, interesting. x86-64. Mem move. I don't know. It moves memory, I guess. Arch64. Oh, there's memset, memcopy. There's no mem move. Let's see the C version. Yeah, I don't know. You know, sorry. I mean, it's kind of what I said originally. Like, there's just a bunch of fine tuning that has been done to decide, you know, how things should be done optimally in terms of like how much to unroll, how much not to unroll, how to express certain things. And some of it, it's being specialized per architecture. Some of it, well, there's a, I guess, a baseline implementation in C. This is, I guess, what you're getting if your architecture doesn't provide a assembly override. Yeah, that's it. I think that's pretty much it. So, Mlag, have you seen the gist that I shared with you guys in Zulip? I learned about this stuff today from Togglebit's stream. So Togglebit was reading this document when I happened to open the stream. And so the way it worked is this. I was minding my own business, and then at some point, I kind of felt something happening. Like, you know, like you imagine that you could perceive like electromagnetic fields. I mean, imagine you could perceive those, but not light, something else. And yeah. And so I opened the stream, and there it was. And there it was. Copy link. For those who don't know, let me find the source for you. Dude, is it going to be faster than C++? Looking for some insider news. Is it going to be faster than C++? Fluffy Panda. How does one answer that question? How does one answer that question? So if you're comparing languages that are high level and very abstracted, that run inside virtual machines, I think that then comparisons are maybe more worthwhile. Like if you're comparing Python versus Java, for example, I think that is a worthwhile comparison. Should I use Python or should I use Java? And assuming that the choice has to be one of the two, and assuming the performance matters, I am pretty confident that you will be able to come with a clear winner between the two. For a given problem that you need to solve. There is probably, even in that case, I would say there is no universal answer because, Python can cheat by using C. Java is probably overall a much better virtual machine. Like the JVM is probably overall a much better virtual machine than what CPython is. And then I think that Java too can cheat with C if it really wants to. So So at the end of the day, then when you're trying to compare these two languages, you're still like, you probably what end up doing is comparing how good is their integration with a C library at the end of the day, probably. But yeah, let's see what MLAG has to say on the topic. There are some languages which make it easier to write faster or slower code. Python tends to push you towards slower code. C tends to push you towards faster code, but neither is a rule. Zig in general is around the same ballpark as C and friends, but performance is a property of a single application rather than of languages. However, if writing an application where performance matters, choosing a language like C or Zig is likely a good idea. Yep. So if you want to compare like Zig or C, the point is that languages like Zig or C, they tend, this is not always universally true, like this also is a spectrum thing, but they tend to allow you to produce more or less kinda the assembly that you want. It's not going to be true for a super complicated application. Like you're not going to be able to keep tight control over the assembly, the machine code that gets generated by these languages if your project is complicated enough. But usually, even in a big project, you don't care about fine-tuning the assembly, the machine code everywhere. You usually have, just a few very hot code paths that are worth optimizing, and then everything else doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter that displaying the help menu in a CLI tool is super fast. Nah, it has to be reasonable, sure, but it's not something where it's worth fine-tuning the generated machine code. Nobody cares, like if you're running, the -- help menu. But some other things, like Zig is a compiler, let's take Zig as a precise example, right? So why am I doing Borg? Let's bring this up for an example, like Zig version. Printing the version, does this need to be maximally fast? No, nobody cares. Instead, if you're running Zig builds, like you're compiling source code, then yeah, you do care about parsing being fast, you do care about semantic analysis being fast, you do care about code generation being fast, because that is much more important. And there's like much hotter loops there than just doing this. So with that in mind, all these languages tend you to allow to do this. That said, there are certainly trade-offs that the language tends to make, and programming styles that might be more or less performance friendly, sometimes because it's just that things have changed and better ways of doing things have been discovered. Some other times it's a matter of trade-offs. Like Rust, for example, is a language that overall does favor performance, but then in certain situations, they, let's say, favor safety over performance, in the sense that the compiler, maybe, to placate the borrow checker, to allow the borrow checker to confirm that your code is correct, you'll have to do a little bit of extra work to get the borrow checker to accept your optimized, like an optimized way of implementing something, maybe. So yeah, that's kind of what it is. So long story short, with all these languages, you can probably produce the same final machine code at the end of the day. And especially considering the fact that it doesn't matter that you produce the same machine code, globally in the whole application. It usually only matters that you do that in specific places, and all of them have escape hatches, including embedded assembly and whatnot. That said, Zig is a language that does care a lot about performance. Zig cares about performance way more than C++, in my opinion. And so I would say that, like if I were to give you, so knowing keeping in mind the nuanced and more correct answer, which is kind of what MLAG was telling you, if you were to ask me more informally, I would say that Zig is a faster language than C++, because I suspect that if you empirically go out there and find a C++ project in a Zig equivalent, the Zig equivalent will probably be faster and have better performance characteristics, because C++ is much more trigger happy with heap allocation and weirdo abstractions that we just don't do in Zig. Plain and simple. Does that mean that you cannot write a competitive program in C++, like one that can compete with Zig? Of course you can if you want. So I guess at the end of the day, the question is not really about the language itself. The question is about, because the languages are at their core kind of fungible. They are kind of all can do whatever you want with them. With all, you can do whatever you want with them, but the ecosystem does change. So you will find, I suspect, much more performance-oriented libraries in Zig than you will find in C++. Keeping in mind that, you know, very performant C++ does exist. So it's not to say that, you know, C++ is slow. Is Zig going to remove LLVM in the long run? Zig is going to stop depending on LLVM faster than the long run. Zig is probably going to stop depending on LLVM in the medium run. But it's not going to be a complete abandonment of LLVM. It's just that LLVM will stop being integrated in the compiler and it will become an optional component that you can optionally decide to use. So for a while, there will be no... Zig will have its own custom backends, which are being worked on right now, that will be able to produce debug builds much faster than we currently can, because we use LLVM also for debug builds, and it's just super slow. That said, to produce a optimized release, which is where LLVM shines, right? LLVM shines when it comes to creating optimized releases of a program, and in that case, we don't have the ability to compete with LLVM today. But you will still be able to use LLVM. So the idea is that the LLVM is not going to be in the compiler, but you will be able to use the Zig build system to basically just feed LLVM the necessary inputs and obtain an optimized executable through LLVM. So you will run, like, the idea is that you run Zig build, and as Zig build runs, the first time you run it, it will download LLVM for you through the Zig build system, and then use it to build the optimized executable. While right now, LLVM is inside of Zig, so you don't have to do this intermediate step with the build system, but that's kind of pretty much it. Ideally, if things go well, over time, people will work on a optimizing backend that will be able to compete with LLVM. And who knows, maybe one day we will even get to a point where you will still be able to use LLVM if you really want to, but maybe the Zig optimizing backend will be good enough, competitive enough, that you won't feel the need to do that anymore. That's the idea. Very performant CPP is just C. What about ZigCC though? Yeah, what about ZigCC? Well, the idea is that, so you know what? I'm not sure about the specifics of how that will play out precisely, because, so on one hand, there is a project to have a C front end for Zig, meaning giving Zig the ability to compile C code itself, which I think is happening. But even if that does not play out, you will still be able, basically what I just told you, what I just described, where LLVM is a component that you can obtain through the build system, that same component, well, more specifically in this case, it would be Clang, not LLVM. It would be the Clang compiler built on top of LLVM. You would get that through the build system. So it's probably going to be like a package that contains Clang and LLVM. And as far as I know, Zig doesn't need LLVM to compile C code anyway. There's ROCC for that. Yes, that is the C front end. But it's currently, I think the ROCC right now is being used for translate C, but it's not being used to actually compile C code into like Zig intermediate representation. I think that was the plan, at least at a certain point in time, but I don't know if this is still being pursued. Either way, you should not expect Zig to lose its ability to compile C code. That is an integral part of Zig. What will change will be some, let's say, implementation details on how this is achieved. But the overall experience of having Zig be your one-stop shop for all compilation needs, that will still remain. Okay, so before we get here, so to pop the stack. Okay, what are we looking at? Another lang. What is the question related to this repository? So creates good lang. Okay, everything very standard. Open the lexer file. Okay. So what are we doing with our tokenizer? Let's see. EOF error, whitespace comment. Oh, you're tokenizing whitespace? Interesting. Most of the time, whitespace doesn't even become a token. It's just being skipped by the tokenizer. State. Next token returns state. Okay, interesting. Go to the bottom. Okay, I'm getting there. Let's see. Matcher, create matcher. So you have a type definition in here inside create matcher. What is going on with this metaprogramming? Okay, what is the question here? And then you return another type. So the idea is we generate a lookup table from the inner functions. Add the first of the mask plus equals 1. So, okay, keep shifting left. Every time add gets called, public line match. Okay, so you add in there the ability to recognize add inner is ident start. Okay, you're passing a function, the matcher. Okay. Okay, so you create a lookup table that basically turns these runtime functions into, runs your function for every input, bakes basically the result, and so that way this function, which here it's implemented in a, I don't know, like more idiomatic but runtimey way, then you put it inside your lookup table, and then you publish a different implementation of it where the original implementation turns into just a match. Let's see, match. Self mask U8. and then see. Okay. Oh, and add gives you, okay, I get it. Add gives you basically the, I guess the location. Yeah, which is what you're plugging. You're plugging it here. Okay, cool. Nice. Did you have any specific question or did you just want to share some stuff? By the way, I think YouTube just failed to renew the token and we missed it. What's the lore behind Zig having multiple mascots? The lore is just that people propose different mascots. Andrew liked some of them, and so over time a few accumulated. Then there's also non-official mascots. Like I have Susie, which is the Zig Showtime mascot. It's not official. It's just a mascot that I use for my stuff. Then, I don't know, the Zig Embedded group has a frog. Mac Engine has a monkey. I think there's more. Is there a way I can generate this glue code without me duplicating the functions? So I think there are maybe other ways of using comp time to force this calculation to be baked into somewhere, some logic. But whether that would basically yield the same properties that you're obtaining with this lookup table, I'm not sure. For example, you could, let's say, you could. Conceptually, what you're doing is that you're making it so that this function takes in a compile time C. Basically, you're saying, let's imagine that this function takes a compile time known byte. And so because of that, we have a few different implementations that are all pre-resolved. So you could have that. You could make Zig do that for you. You make this argument comp time known, and wherever you use this function, you would need to basically abuse a little bit like switch cases, and every time you call this function, you call it inside a switch else case, and you would obtain at a certain level the same behavior, meaning calling into this function doesn't really run the function, but instead looks at a pre-computed thing. But then it's not going to be represented in memory in the same way that you're doing it as this lookup table. So yeah, this specific way of doing things, honestly, I would say, I would honestly say if this specific memory layout is what you want to obtain, this is pretty reasonable. At the end of the day, yes, you have to do 3 chores. Every time you want to create one of these guys, you create the concrete implementation, you add it to your lookup table, and then you create, let's say, a public version of it. So it's like 3 things that you have to do, but it's not that much. And I'm guessing you don't have to create, you don't want to create like an endless amount of these things. So I don't know. I would say this seems fine. To be clear, I'm not a super expert on these things. Like I was trying to understand what you're doing by looking at your code. So while I understand the general concept of lookup tables, the specific way of doing things for a tokenizer, I've never done it myself. So keeping that in mind, I don't know. I think this is pretty reasonable overall. I based it off this article. Yeah, okay, let me fix YouTube. Yeah, Rishu, YouTube pooped itself, and we don't know why. This is so annoying. We're still back to not understanding why YouTube fails to renew. So what happened is that it tried to renew here, but then it failed. And we don't know why. So okay, let me check this stuff. So what's happening is that we're calling a refresh token, and refresh token for some reason is failing. So we don't know what did it. I think it's not even that. Okay, but you know what we have? We have a superpower compared to last time. We are tailing logs. So let's scroll up a little bit and let's see what pooped itself. If we can figure it out. Man, there's a lot of display. WS connection failed, unknown host name. Wait, how old is this stuff? I think it's scrolled up too much. Render, parser, network display, data ping, like the official YouTube app. Wait, this happened just now? Even YouTube chat itself does that. Okay, where were we when chat pooped itself? I think we were around this message, maybe. That's your link. Generate a lot. This WebSocket unknown hostname thing is freaking me out. Oh, we need to take a look at that as well. It's a Twitch thing, though. It's not a YouTube thing. Live chat. Let's see. Token expires at Delta. Not refreshing YouTube token as expiry is greater than 600. Polling for messages. Token expires. Now Delta 599. YouTube refreshing token. YouTube request refresh to access token. And this errored out, and we really didn't get any other logging other than that? What? Really? So we never got here, which means that this is what failed. Which, I mean, makes sense. YouTube refresh token failed. So this is what fails. How the heck, though? How the heck does this fail? What? What's interesting is that I don't even know what's interesting anymore. I don't know anything. Allocator arena, yt.dinit. Maybe I should give this guy GPA instead of arena, but it should not matter. I guess the problem is that we are not catching this error. So let's catch this error and let's print it. Okay, at least we have some logging here. Okay, in a while we're gonna figure out what's wrong with YouTube. So we'll see what happens then. Okay. We have also Not refreshing. Polling. So it's every seconds that YouTube refreshes. Okay, basically we need this number. We need this number to go all the way down to 600. When this number goes all the way down to 600, that's when the update will actually happen. And we'll see what YouTube has to say. Maybe it's complaining because we're trying to refresh a... I actually don't even know what the problem is. You know what? Maybe I should also repeat the URL. You know, let me also print the URL. Yeah. Let's also print that. Okay. Zig build. So it's gonna leak my secret tokens, but you guys can't do anything with them, even if you have them, so it's fine. No fall will happen. I'm fine leaking some secrets for now. Okay, so this resets the timer, but we're gonna have all the extra login that we need. So I guess we'll see what happens when we get there. Is that a challenge? I mean, it's an application that is currently in test mode. The only way for you to be able to do anything, it's a read-only permission. The only way for you to do anything is to be like, there's nothing interesting that you can do there, basically. Okay, so we're polling numbers. Number has to go down when that happens. Maybe we can put a timer or something somewhere. This should be like about 50 minutes, I think. Let's do it like this. Work AFK 50 minutes dash T white YouTube bug count down. Ooh, this spams the logs a lot, but it's kind of necessary because we do need to render frequently because that's what the countdown is, but it's fine. Actually, you know what? Let's not make it 50 minutes. Let's make it 45 minutes, maybe. Let's make it 40 minutes. Okay, so that we don't risk going over it. Okay, so this is it. Any Zig question? If there's any Zig question, I'll answer it. Otherwise, it's time for me to actually move into the main content, which is fixing bugs, merging PRs, and continue the work on Zine. Yesterday, I had a chat with a user of my static site generator who reported a bunch of bugs, and we need to go and fix them. So that's what I want to do today. That's going to be my main goal. Let us see. So I don't want LLDB. You can go. This I'll leave open. This is Borg. This is the Borg other thing. I don't care. I'll keep dating. This is Zine. This is Zine. This is Borg thing. I'm gonna close it. Vex. Oh, this was me like trying stuff the last stream. I'll close it. Good luck with your code. Oh, that's for Shreya Santu. Okay. So, what are we doing here? Oh, this is Stockfish. I don't care about Stockfish anymore. When's the next Toggle co-op stream? We haven't scheduled it yet, but today Toggle was streaming and he did mention on stream that he would be open to make another one. So yeah. Oh, your name is Shreyas. Shreyas. Okay, thank you. Sorry, there's a bunch of names that I don't even know. You know, when you glue everything together, I'm not even sure where to cut it sometimes. So thanks for letting me know. Okay, let's fix bugs in Zine. So one thing that was reported to me is that Zine might not work with latest Zig. So Zig up, fetch master. So let's get an even more updated build of Zig. And I guess default master. Well, what do I have now? Zig version. No, I have 2851. This is a different one. So we need to do Zig default master. Now I got the latest one. Let's run build serve. Let's see if anything changed. Something changed. Oh my God. Okay, so build of Zig of a dependency. Hey, Dimoroy. Holy shit. Thank you for the raid. Hello, everybody. So, hello, everybody coming from the raid. What did you guys do? So what I do expect somebody to tell me what was happening in the stream. In the meantime, I'll tell you what we're doing here. So there are two things going on right now, or maybe I guess three. So one thing that we're doing is Zigup still works. Yeah, it does. I just used it. It's fine. So three things are happening. One, we saw Dylan leaking API keys. Nice. I'm also leaking API keys, but in my case, it's like a read-only thing for a test application. So I would hope that nothing bad can happen. Let's see. Wrangle some SQL and then started a new project for synchronizing splitwise with YNAB. You need a budget. Also leaked my splitwise API key. Nice. Let's go. Nice. It's always nice when you leak API keys. Yeah. So here's what's going on here. Number one thing that's happening. My Twitch chat client here is also integrating with YouTube, and it's having trouble keeping a connection open with YouTube. YouTube chat. So that, just so you know, I'm streaming both on Twitch and on YouTube. So like if I say hello from Twitch, from my Twitch account. This is my Twitch account, but I can also say hello from YouTube. It takes a moment for the YouTube one to show up, but it does show up. So the problem though is that the YouTube API is incredibly bad. It's incredibly bad. It's polling. I have to do polling. The Auth token lasts only 1 hour. After 1 hour, it expires. So I need to make sure to refresh it. Although, to be fair, it's like, that's normal. That's normal Auth stuff. Although, lasting only 1 hour, it's kind of annoying. And in this whole mess, right now, what's happening is that we refresh the token at startup because we only save the refresh token. We don't save a Auth token. We only save the refresh token. So we basically have to use that refresh token to get a new authentication token every time we start Bork. But then after 1 hour, it expires, and we fail to refresh it. More precisely, what's happening is that we don't wait for it to expire. We actually try to refresh it 10 minutes before it's supposed to expire. So YouTube tells us how much like lifetime left has the token when we create it, and 10 minutes before that number goes to 0, we refresh the token. For some reason, that operation fails every single time. So the first refresh succeeds. The second one fails. Why? No idea. So that's what we're basically waiting for the condition to happen again naturally. So we're gonna figure it out. We have some logging going on. So we're gonna see what's wrong. Second thing that we're doing, which I guess it's more like the main thing, I have a static site generator that I'm writing in Zig, and users have reported issues with it. So I'm basically going to dive a little bit into the things they have reported, and in general, continue the development work of my static site generator, which is in on itself like a tiny like Pandora's box of subprojects, because I did a lot of things from scratch. So it's not just a static site generator, but it's also an HTML parser and a markdown parser and a template engine with a virtual machine that interprets your templates that I've implemented myself. So all these things basically require some love. For example, this thing here, this error that I'm seeing, it's an error in one of my dependencies. And this kind of tells me that one of my subprojects needs to be updated to latest Zig. So basically, this is the maintainer work necessary to, keep Zine in lockstep with the development of the Zig programming language, and also, fix other bugs that people have discovered in the meantime. Okay, so what's this dependency? Oh, it's WebSocket. It's WebSocket, but the good news is that I actually don't need this dependency anymore. So, yeah, I forgot to take it out from here, but I don't depend on this thing anymore. So WebSocket can say goodbye, and now we can rerun this, and hopefully it will work. No, it won't. Wait, don't tell me that I actually do depend on that. Oh, I do mention it. Okay, so by deleting it, now I get another problem that says, wait, you do try to use the WebSocket dependency, but I think it's still in my build scripts, but I don't really use it in the source code. So let's take it out from everything. No more. No more. Let's see how we do now. Okay, making progress. So I wrote a bunch of random stuff myself, a bunch of parsers myself, but Tresitter, as you can see, it's a C dependency, didn't do that myself. And in the middle here, there was also a markdown parser. I did not write a markdown parser from scratch because I decided that it was too much. Like writing a HTML parser from scratch, fine, I can do it, I'll do it. But markdown, I don't really want to. Okay, so we are back in business. Let's go make these changes actually. Okay, so now I can go at least say to my user that this was fixed. So next, maybe we should try to reproduce what they were reporting. Let me see if I want to do this on this website or if I want to use a different website. What other website could I use? I think it's fine. I'll keep using my personal blog as an example. That should not be a problem, I think. So how's my stuff organized? Do I have blog index? No, I don't. Okay, so let's create like a new subsection in there. mkdir, let's call it archive. And then in here we do like touch index.md, smd, and then we mkdir say 2024. And we create also 2025, and then we touch index.smd, and then 2025 index.smd, and then maybe we create a couple of blog posts, like one in 2025, one in 2024, I guess. I don't know, second SMD, and then 2024 first SMD. Okay, right now, I was trying to save my shell state. Okay, so right now this stuff is not going to be interesting as it is now because all these files are empty and they need content. I think that if I call, if I call build serve, it's going to tell me, look, yeah, these files are empty. I'm going to ignore them. Instead of, this is like a nice thing. Like instead of erroring out, I'm just telling you, I'm going to ignore these files. So let's start adding content to them so that we can then reproduce the issue that we were worried about. So I'm going to actually copy this and then archive index.smd. I'm going to paste this. Archive home. I don't care about alternatives. I think I can take this out completely and it should be fine. So this is going to be archive home. I'm going to put there archive. And then we want to create 2024 index. 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 Hey Toggle, hello. Wait, why did you answer this now? Oh, you just caught the old message, I see. Sorry, now that I'm like trying to debug what my chat application is doing, it's like I'm freaking out every time something weird happens. So how am I doing? I'm waiting for a bug in my YouTube code that I know will trigger in about 26 minutes. And yeah, I'm basically waiting for that to trigger. In the meantime, I am doing work on the static site generator. By the way, you should, you know what? You should eventually try to use it again because it has come a very long way from when you tried it once. Like when you tried it first, I was still naive enough to think that I could get away by using 3-seater as my HTML parser. And since then, I understood that if I wanted to have any chance of producing decent errors, whenever an error, like whenever there was a syntax error in a template, the only way was to make my own parser from scratch. And yeah, things have become better. Although I would say it's still not super polished. Like I'm not making like a V1 releases because it's still tied to the Zig build system, which is actually very nice for, well, I guess for me, from the implementer side of things, because there's a lot of logic that I could basically leverage that I didn't have to implement myself, like caching, for example, that kind of stuff, or like basically having a task queue that runs in parallel. All those things are being done automatically for me by the build system. But the problem is that, like, for example, when something goes wrong, you get spammed all the Zig build system error messages, which are error messages meant for a developer that's looking at a build pipeline and need to diagnose while a executable invocation failed in their build pipeline, which is not exactly necessarily the perspective that somebody has when they're just like building their static website. So, long story short, one big milestone that's in front of me is to move the static site generator completely off the Zig build system and have it basically be a fully standalone executable, like in a way where you kind of you basically stop caring that it's you don't, at that point you will not have to care anymore that it's a Zig project. It's just going to be a static site generator and you don't care about the implementation language. Okay, give me a sec, and then I will resume. so make it for Markdown and HTML. I mean, that's what a static site generator is. Hugo, Gatsby, Jekyll, Astro, question mark, maybe, Docusaurus, Zola. I don't remember if I said Hugo already or not, but yeah. So all of these are static site generators. Gatsby is dead. Well, static site generators come and go, but the general idea is, you know, roughly the same. Okay, what are we doing here? So wait, this should be 2025. Why Astro question mark? Because I don't remember if it's only a static site generator or if it is something more like like APIs and stuff. Loomland, right? Anyone making SOGs for non-programmers asking for a friend? Yes, somebody is. Although I don't know if they're going like the full length. It's kind of complicated because I think that the core idea is that while an SSSG by definition doesn't need like a database, the moment that you want to have non-technical people, like non-programmers, start editing files, then they need a way of, you know, editing stuff that goes into some kind of box that they can save the file into. And if they're non-programmers, then Git doesn't cut it anymore. And so yeah, then you start getting into like commercial options. But it would be definitely interesting. So it's too early and I don't want to commit to this, but it would make sense to create a GUI over a CLI static site generator and like just bundle everything together and have like and turn basically a something like Zola or Zine into into something that is much more user friendly. It's the problem is that usually that's the kind of effort that developers don't want to put in, except the ones that then want to squeeze money out of those people, out of those users, and make a commercial thing. If you just want something that almost looks like WSGI but runs locally, maybe not WSGI but something that has very little boilerplate. Also, there's another problem that if you're talking about like non-technical people, then now you have another question, another thing that you have to think about, which is what about deployment? How do you deploy a static website, right? And again, we as developers have plenty of options, mostly trivial. So you just plop it on GitHub pages. But then since usually those things become commercial offerings, then you have basically the company that becomes a hosting company. I think there's also other names, like Wix is definitely one. Like these are big names, but I think there's more. Isn't there like one called something like Ghost? Not Ghosty, obviously, that's the terminal, but there's Ghost something that is a CMS. Let's see, Ghost CMS. Right? Independent technology for modern publishing. Yeah. Yeah, and then you have these other things. So if the person is non-technical, then they start WSGI alone is not enough. They also want like they also want themes because they don't want to make the theme themselves. They don't have the competence to do that. So I think the problem is that the moment you start trying to target non-technical people, it kind of becomes a quote unquote like slippery slope of scope creep, because then you will have people that like even with Zine, I made Zine and people started asking me right away, where's the themes? And I'm like, I don't know, man. It's like it's a static site generator. It doesn't bundle themes. It's like, go find themes yourself if you want themes. So I can imagine that with non-technical users, it's like 10 times worse in that sense. Do they get started now for free? Do they explain how this stuff works? No, they don't. They don't really explain much, huh? There was also co-host. Oh. Let's look at pricing. I think that's gonna tell us. It's gonna tell us about what's going on here a little bit. Starter $9 a month. Wait, didn't they say start free? What do they have free? Get started free. Where's the free part? The free part is that you're free to give them your contact information. Here's the free part. You're free to share your personal data. Okay, let's go back to pricing. So $9 a month. One staff user, 18 free official themes. Give me a sec. Okay, I'm back. Let's see. So $25 a month, 2 staff users, unlimited custom themes, 1,000 plus integrations, build custom integrations, 5 staff users, priority support, higher usage limits. What are the usage limits? So creator, $25 a month, so it's like not cheap. 1,000 members. So this also has like sign up. Okay, free or paid account. Staff users, newsletters, premium tiers, multiple membership products, transaction fees 0%. Ghost does not take a transaction fee, commission, or cut out of your payments. All revenue that you generate is paid directly to you from Stripe. File uploads 100 megabytes. Holy shit. So $25 a month with a limit of 1,000 entries in their database and a couple extra users, 3 newsletters. So I guess the newsletter maybe does have a cost if you actually do use it. 100 megabytes worth of file uploads. You can upload unlimited files to each Ghost Pro plan. The file upload limit applies to how large each individual file can be. If you need to upload files larger than is supported in our plans, we recommend using a separate dedicated service optimized for storing large media like YouTube or Dropbox. SES is cheap as fuck. I mean, sure. What I'm saying is like, okay, they are giving you something more than just static hosting. So there are some costs associated that aren't just the static hosting, but it's a lot though. It is a lot. Holy shit. Yeah, I don't know. This stuff comes as a cost. I think that, I was writing about this a while ago. I wrote the blog post that got picked up by the register. The register Loris Crow. Let's go. Oh, wait, they picked up something that I wrote? Also in the past. I didn't know this. Okay. I didn't know that I picked up also on older stuff, but that's not the one that I wanted to share. Is this one? I think it's this one. Yeah. Okay. So so this blog post is about my my HTML language server. But then at some point it crosses into another blog post, the static site paradox blog that you know what? Maybe let's just go to my blog post. It's not even all that long. So let's see. In front of you, there are two personal websites, each used as a blog to display basic content info of the owner. Number one is a complex CMS written in PHP that requires a web server, multiple workers, a Redis cache, and a SQL database. The site also has a big front-end component that loads as a single-page application and then performs navigation by requesting the content in JSON form, which then gets rehydrated client-side. The other is a collection of static HTML files and one or two CSS files, no JavaScript anywhere. If you didn't know any better, you would expect almost all normal users to have the second one and professional engineers to have something like the first one, but it's actually the inverse. Only few professional software engineers can afford to have the second option as their personal website, and almost all normal users are stuck with overcomplicated solutions. Weird as it might be, it's not a great mystery why that is. It's easier to spin up a WordPress blog than it is to figure out by yourself all the intermediate steps: buy a domain, find a hosting plan, configure DNS, find an SSG, or handcraft the HTML and CSS all by yourself, and then learn how to set up a deployment pipeline. And so, while we software engineers enjoy free hosting and custom domain support with GitHub pages, Cloudflare pages, etc., normal users are stuck with a bunch of greedy clowns. Here I'm referring to the recent WordPress drama, where the WordPress guy and a bunch of venture capital people started beefing over who is the one that should be able to extract ranked over users. In any case, a bunch of greedy clowns, they make them pay for every little thing, which is something that we're kind of seeing right now also with Ghost. All while wasting ungodly amounts of computational power. Although Ghost is not WordPress, maybe, I think. I'm assuming the Ghost is more static, but I'm not sure. Actually, it's not entirely static because it has signups and other stuff. So it's a mix. I don't know what the underlying technology is. In any case, all while wasting ungodly amounts of computational power to render what could have been a static website in 99% of cases. Last week, I spoke at SquiggleConf in Boston about my experience writing a language server for HTML. Most of the talk is tactical advice on what to do or avoid when implementing one, but I concluded the talk with a more high-level point, which I will now report here fully as conclusion to this blog post. When I published Super HTML, I discovered that it was the first ever language server for HTML that reported diagnostics to the user. I wrote a blog post about it, and it got on the front page of Hacker News, and nobody corrected me, so you know it's true. I originally found it a funny thing, but thinking about it more, it's a bit sad that this is the case. Linters do exist, and people can get diagnostics from their editor, but that's usually tooling tied to a specific front-end framework and not vanilla HTML, which leads to people opting to use frameworks even if they don't really have a real need for all the complexity that those frameworks bring. And that's bad in my opinion, not because of an abstract appreciation for simplicity, but because the web doesn't just belong to software engineers. The more we make the web complex, the more we push normal users into the enclosures that we like to call social networks. Don't you find it infuriating when lawyers and accountants fail to clarify how their respective domains work, making them unavoidable intermediaries of systems that in theory you should be able to navigate by yourself? Whenever we fail to make simple things easy in software engineering or web dev especially, we are failing society in the exact same way. This is not something that startups or big tech can solve for us. Their economic incentives are just too misaligned, so I invite you all to make the web to help make the web more accessible, partially as a matter of taking pride into our craft, and partially because the web used to be more interesting when more of it was made by people different from us. Now you set yourself up to never be able to run a hosting business. Oh, I will, you know, I will just take down everything that I wrote before and increase the prices even more. That's what I'll do. Wait, is where I have an HTML LSP in LLVM? Yes, you do. You have the HTML LSP from VS Code. The HTML LSP from VS Code does not report errors in HTML. It gives you something like autocomplete, but it does not, like if you, for example, close a tag that you never opened, that thing does not blink an eye. The first language server, so one step back, that thing doesn't do anything, doesn't report any errors. But if you use a proprietary tool, like there are errors in HTML, yes, holy shit. If you close a tag that you never opened, that's an error. If you open some tags and never close them, that's an error. If you nest certain tags in the wrong way, that's an error. For example, you cannot put a div inside of a paragraph. If you nest links, that's an error. Like if you nest a anchor inside another anchor, that's an error. Yeah, browsers do a lot of it. They will do error correction, so they will not error out. They will just have recovery strategies. But your code is nevertheless wrong. There are some tags that you are like legitimately allowed to not close. Watch me put a div into a p. You know what happens? What's funny is that if you do that, and then you open that page in a browser and you look at the DOM, you will see that the browser will have pulled out the div outside the p. Well, it is part of the spec, though it's not technically an error. It is an error in the sense that you will get behavior from the browser that will be unexpected for you. That's the problem. The browser will try to correct what you wrote and turn it into something that it understands, but it will not do so always in a way that you expect. So sometimes it can happen that you even get like layout problems where you are thinking, man, you know, fucking HTML, it's like just too complicated and messy, and Flex isn't enough in this case. But it turns out that maybe Flex was enough, but you nested things in the wrong way, and that messes things up. Svelte LSP shows these things. Oh yeah, it does. It does. It does, right? Which is another great way. It's another great reason of why you use Svelte instead of writing plain HTML. And same with the other frameworks, I guess. But it is a shame. It is a shame that plain HTML doesn't have this kind of tooling written for it, and only venture capital baked projects end up having that tooling developed for them. That said, that used to be the case. Now you have Super HTML, so at least you have that. Oh, what was that tab? Just somebody quoting the register. Okay, so what did we learn here? I don't know. So we looked at Ghost, and we learned that Ghost has pretty steep pricing, huh? But jokes aside, does anybody know of other static, like let's imagine that we are a non-technical user, and we're trying to host a static website the easiest way possible. Let us assume that we're even authoring the website locally on our computer. So we don't care about runtime stuff. We don't care about a database, user signups. We just want to deploy our static website. Kinda like it were back in the 90s. Back when, or not just 90s, even early 2000s, back when you would put your website on Alta Vista. What is the modern equivalent of that? Does that still exist in any shape or form anymore? GitHub Pages. I would argue that that is too developer focused. For some Netlify GitHub Pages, I think maybe Netlify, I'm not sure, but aren't those all developers focused? A bit too much. GeoCities. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. Like, what is the equivalent of GeoCities and Alta Vista? Are these the ones? I don't think they are. By the way, we're approaching our bug moment. Okay, let's remove this stuff. Okay, there's still a bit more to go because I sandbagged the number a little bit, but this number is getting closer to 600. When this number goes below 600, that's when the update will trigger. So let's not forget. You're here for the bug moment now? Yes. We're getting there. Tailscale funnel. Okay, no, that is definitely not user-friendly, although I want to check it out. Is that like... is this going to use your computer? Yeah, okay. Custom domains? Or something? Funnel can only use yes names in your tailnets domain. Yeah, cool. Still, definitely not user-friendly enough. Definitely not an equivalent of GeoCities. To be fair, I think the 90s 00's version required some technical knowledge. Fair, yes, it did. Although not a ton. Like, the way it worked in the past is that you would connect via FTP, I think, most of the time. Some of them had web interfaces. So for some of them, you were even able to upload files via a web interface. So yeah, it did require a bit, but not a ton. FileZilla mentions, like, let's go. Yes. Oh man, what was the name of that program that allowed you to download things faster because it would start multiple downloads of the same file, but at different offsets for servers that capped the download speed of a given connection? Internet Download Manager? I don't think so. Or maybe yes, IDM? Is that a thing? Download Manager? What? Wait, what was that the name? No. Come on. No turbo fast. Wait, isn't it like, oh, JDON Loader? That one I do remember. Wait, no, I think there was one like Rapid Get or something. Rapid Gator, no. Turbo Get. There used to be dozens. Yeah, I can imagine. Flash Get. Look at it. JDON Loader. Internet Download Accelerator. I think, oh, there's also Internet Download Manager. Good times, huh? Rapid Gator. Okay, so it was right. No. Okay, no, never mind. I know Advanced Download Manager. Yeah, there were a bunch. Rapid Get Download Manager. Eight best free download managers. Let's see. Free Download Manager, FDM. JDownloader. Internet Download Accelerator. Download Accelerator Plus. Download Accelerator Manager. Oh, GetGo? No. Okay, I think I'm getting close. Wasn't there Get something else? Rapid Get maybe. Is that what I kept saying also earlier? Flash Get. Okay, so Flash Get, it's a thing. So Rapid Get Download Manager was not it. RapidGator.net file manager. Flash Get. I think I might have used. Yeah, I think I used Flash Get as well. I think I remember the arrows down logo. UGet. Oh man. Okay, there were a bunch. Oh, we're getting close. We're getting close. This should be like 5 minutes, I think. Ask ChatGPT. Maybe I should. That's stuff that ChatGPT should know. You know what? Well, let's ask Claude. What is it that we're getting close to? Stick around and you'll know. Should be in 5 minutes. But no, jokes aside, we're waiting for the YouTube token to be renewed, and somehow that fails, and so we'll finally see in the logs why it is that fails. List names of download load managers / accelerators from the early 2000s. Wait, okay, so I wasn't like dreaming it. Get Right is really a thing. I think Get Right is the one that I was using a lot, which, by the way, the reason why I wasn't saying Get Right, I think it was in my brain, but I didn't want to say it out loud, is because I assumed Get Right is also a Counter-Strike professional player, or at least was. And so I was thinking, wait, I'm mixing it up with the CS pro player. And instead, no, I guess Get Right got its name from the tool. Yeah, DC++ is like a slightly different thing, right? Yeah, I think Get Right was the one that I used the most. Oh hell yeah, man! I so remember this window. I so remember it. Good times. Look, downloading at 63.9 kilobytes per second. Okay, quiz for people that are not too old. If you're okay, if you have more than, if you're older than, let's say 30 years, you can't answer. Why is this going at 63.9 kilobytes per second? What is this? What is this connection speed? Or rather, what is the connection technology that allowed you to go at 63.9 kilobytes per second? Modem via phone line. Not exactly. Modem via phone line. Wait, maybe, actually, you know what? Maybe yes. No, that's actually it, I think. I think I was thinking the wrong thing, but that's it, right? That's 50, that's the 56K dial-up with some more modern compression thing, right? Yeah, I was thinking of ISDN, but that one is twice that, right? Wait, no, wait. That isn't that 128. Yeah, you can have single or double. Yeah, that I do remember. But I mean, wait, would it still be ISDN on a single line? I don't think so. Wait, wasn't that the same thing? Okay. Wait, how are we doing with our bug? Oh, we're getting there. We're getting there. Next loop, it's happening. Holy shit, wait. Why is this looping so fast? Why is this looping so fast? This should... What? This is polling every second. Well, not polling necessarily every second, but this is looping every second, and then I don't know what it's doing. Why is this not sleeping as much as it should? So this already is a mystery. You know what? Wait. Why? Whatever. Continue so we can see the error. Come on. There we go. Request failed. Error unknown host name. Unknown host name? Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It's a read-only token thing for an application that is in test mode and only I can authenticate to. It's fine. Why is this giving me unknown host name? Yeah, yummy secrets. Okay, how is it that we could be getting unknown host name? This is not WebSocket. Ignore the WebSocket stuff. The WebSocket stuff has its own problems. Ignore it for a moment. This is a different thing. It's just a normal HTTP client in the Zig standard library. Can you curl the URL? Yes, I can. Shit. Oh God. Oh God. Wait. I scrolled up too much. I scrolled up too much. Refreshing. Why am I completely lost? What happened? There we go. Get ent a hosts. Is this a Linux thing? Oh, cool. Get and a hosts. Let's see. I'm not sure how to read this. Stream dgram row. I'm guessing this is telling me the route that we're taking to get there. But yeah, I'm guessing that works. What happens if I do apis2.com? I don't get anything, so I'm guessing this works. But here's the funnier thing. That function call succeeds at application startup. That function call succeeds at application startup. It is the same code running on startup. Yes, it's the same function being called. Which is kind of curious. And just so that we're clear, I mean, it accepts a GPA. Nothing is changing, no URL coding happening twice. Not that I know of. Not as far as I know. And like the only thing that really changes is the refresh token. But I mean, this looks reasonable. URL parser bug. Not really, because this is the same value that we used the first time when it succeeded. I'm trying to run the behavior tests under f incremental to check something, and it keeps complaining because apparently some genius decided that using namespace tests don't need to go in the using namespace file. Yeah, I can try curling it. What is it? Curl. Man. I forget what other setting to give it. How do I say display information or stuff or whatever? Or you know what? We have an API thingy that I downloaded a while ago. I have Yak. Check out my Yak. So I can create a new HTTP request. I'm gonna paste this here. I'm gonna run it. And it gives me 404 not found. Which is interesting. So what do we do here? That's the refresh URL. Content length is set to 0. Oh, here's the problem. This needs to be a post, not a get. There we go. And it actually works. It just given me a new token. Now I have a new access token. So I honestly have no idea what the problem could be. The only thing, or rather, the only thing that the only problem that I can think of is that there is a yeah, this doesn't matter. No, because these are URL params. These things can be sent as URL params, and they're not in the body. So we're not sending a form. We're just passing them as, you know, as they are in here, as you can see here in the format string. We're just passing them that way. We just need to make sure that the method is passed. That's it. And it works, as you just saw. But for some reason, the second time around, we get unknown host. That is really weird, isn't it? So I think, friends, that we are experiencing right now either some fluctuation in the fabric of our universe, and we need to scan for tachyon traces or whatever the heck they do in Star Trek, or alternatively, as hard to believe this might be, we might be observing undefined behavior. Can you compare these side by side with the startup URL? Yes, I can. So this is this URL. I'm gonna I don't know. How do I? You know what? I'll leave it as is. And then in here, so we're logging good, as you can see. So in here, we keep tailing. We restart Bork, and we should see. Oh my god. I think this is it. Okay, so we started tailing. Here we start again. Oh, we're not printing the URL in case of success. So let me fix that. Yeah, well, this is a debug build and it logs everything. Yeah, sorry. Normally you wouldn't use a debug build. I'm using a debug build because I'm developing it and finding out all this weird shit going on. So let's move these outside. Refresh access token URL colon. There you go. Okay, now we're logging it. Fuck, I did not want to close all of Ghosty. Whoops. Okay. Sorry, I'll need to remake the setup. Oh, man. I guess that's what it ends up being. Oh, this is new Zig. And we use the WebSocket stuff here. Zig up list. Okay, let's temporarily go to an older version of Zig. Give me this one. Okay, just so that we can Zig build Borg. And I think I still have the old link. Not here, but I have it here, I guess. Copy as curl. Does that work? Can I copy as like URL or something? What happens if I do this? Oh God. Well, we kind of have the data, I guess. It's just in a different format. That's annoying. So there we go. This is the other This is the other one. I guess I can create a new one. Oh, god damn it. It always starts in body. Can I close this tab for... Oh, it forgets where you were in the previous one. That is so funny. Yeah, I'm gonna copy this curl, I guess. It's the same. I don't see any difference. I think this is either a bug in the HTTP client implementation or it's me misusing it. I think it has to be one of the two. Because I don't see how things can be any different. Everything is one-to-one. Also, like, even if the params were different, what gives you a known host is the URL, right? Sorry, well, it's the host, right? It's the domain name. So, oh yeah, well, no, yeah, you're right. It's different here, but this is not the problem. This is not a factor right now. I just copied these. Yeah, I just copied these without doing this first, but it is a post in the source code, so. It is definitely a post in here. Yeah, the function call is the same. Refresh token returns a new copy of this thing, but the refresh token that we are given gets returned back basically. So yeah. Also, there's the second problem. Why were we looping so quickly as we were approaching 600? Why were we not sleeping at all? We were getting close, and we were not sleeping at all. We were like looping real fast, right? That part is also pretty sus. Okay, look at the sleep code. Yeah. So is YouTube returning the same token? That was confusing. No, well, no. YouTube, basically, YouTube gives you a new authentication token, but it doesn't change the refresh token. So the same refresh token that you had before stays the same. I'm basically just returning it because it's part of the type. So I'm returning a type that also bundles a refresh token. And so since this guy doesn't change as a result of calling a refresh token, I just plop the original value back and return that. So this gets called by live chat. It gets called in two places. One is a place where it gets called at startup, where it succeeds and doesn't fail. And then the second place is inside this function called poll that keeps polling YouTube. So the way poll works is this. Poll has a state. This is like the main YouTube function. So poll has the state searching, attached, and erroring out. So it starts at searching because it doesn't know which YouTube live stream we should be trying to attach to. So as long as it's in searching, it in the while loop. Yeah, so as long as we're looping, sorry, I got a moment where I was asking myself if I was doing something stupid with this arena again, but I wasn't. So the while loop basically says, ignore this for a moment. We'll go back to this in a bit. But the main thing it does is figure out, also ignore the token refresh thing. So let's look at the main logic. The main logic says, okay, if we are in searching, then we are trying to find a live stream to connect to. So there's this find live function that literally does a API call to see what existing live broadcasts are there. And if there's one, picks it and returns that one, otherwise returns null. So if we did find a chat ID to connect to, then we mutate our state to attached. If we don't do that, then we sleep. We sleep 10 seconds. So every 10 seconds, we try to find a existing YouTube live stream to connect to. Once we do find it, we modify the state to attached. So inside attached, we basically keep polling YouTube for new messages. And this guy, and this works, and this is fine. And what happens is every time we loop for a message, then we sleep for 5 seconds. So this is like 5,000. The maximum value between 5,000 and whatever they say is the minimum amount of sleep that we need to do. That's what we do, times and as per MS. So like this is just a type of conversion, and this works correctly. So ultimately, we do sleep for 5 seconds normally. This value, if this value were higher than 5 seconds, we would sleep more. It never is. It's just this usually is about 1 second, so we always end up sleeping for 5 seconds. But in any case, we would sleep more, not less. And as you can see, normally it's like bunch of messages. Sorry, every time there's like a new message, this spams other stuff. But you can see one, another one, and as you can see, the delta is always 5. We're going down 5 seconds at a time. So this is all okay. Oh, look at the WebSocket works now. WebSocket works now. So we are getting messages from the WebSocket. So not only, so we're getting this problem, this weird behavior also in the WebSocket. So I assume that the WebSocket was always like something changed on the Twitch side of things, and the WebSocket was busted. But the WebSocket is not busted. The WebSocket, the Twitch WebSocket poops itself at some point, potentially in a similar way, for the same reason that our HTTP client poops itself at some point. You aren't spinning up multiple threads, so what we observed was actually several threads. I do have multiple threads, but they don't really share these resources because YouTube is a single thread. Like this poll thing is a single thread, and it's the only one that will call these functions. The only shared resource is the allocator, is GPA, but GPA is a thread safe allocator. So let's see another problem. So why were we looping fast at some point? I think it's because we entered an error state. Yeah. So I think that we entered an error state. So something else errored out. Yeah. So we were sleeping only 1 second at a time in the end because we errored out. How do we enter an error state? Here we enter an error state if we fail to call find live. Here we enter an error state if we get a bad reply from all this stuff. Oh, but this doesn't log anything. I bet you that this request also returned the same problem. Oh, but sorry. What else can make us go into this state? Here we fail to parse. So bad reply, bad chat JSON. I bet you, thank you. I bet you that this is, yeah, it's one of these guys that goes wrong also at some point. So weird. So something goes wrong around that time. We don't know what, we don't know why, but it has an impact on multiple things. Like right now, WebSocket is working correctly. Except for this one. It doesn't allow me to access charity campaign. This is probably something that we need to fix because we want to see the charity donations. Like this stream really requires this. I wonder what changed because previously we were able to get that info, so they might have changed something on Twitch side of things. Ah man, now I have to look at the Twitch API, don't I? God damn it. Let's see, Twitch. We have Auth, emote cache, IRC parser, event parser, collect fragment. Event parser, maybe? Yeah, message sausage, parse event, parse notification, get time. Where do we sub? Oh, there we go. But here we're parsing a notification of this type of event. We're failing to do that. Where do we do the initial stuff? Is it just network? Do we do it directly here? And somewhere I have all the WebSocket stuff. WS. Where do we use WS? Client init.gpa TLS blah blah WS host. Where's this? No, this is right. The host. Where's my handlers? Handshake WS. Timeout host. There we go. Read loop H. What's H? It's the handler. Where's handler defined? In here. Oh, so it was defined in network. Okay. Where's the list of things that we subscribe to? Here. Session welcome. Subscribing. Self.subscribe to event. Session ID, channel charity campaign donate. And subscribe to event is what sends this message. Okay. I guess Auth is where we advertise all the things they want to get authentication for, although it's in OAuth for us. So scopes, beats read ads, read charity, read goal. I do have read charity as a scope. Is that not enough? Twitch WebSocket API. Man, this stuff is such a pain in the butt, huh? I promise you that at a point in time, that was enough because I remember those things working with Bork. I'm trying to think if I do handle this. I don't think I do personally. So, yeah, who knows? So, welcome message, managing subscriptions. Channel read charity. Channel.charitycampaign.donate. I think these people changed the... I think they shuffled around these scopes. Charity campaign start, charity campaign progress, charity campaign stop. Authorization requires the channel read charity scope. Okay, never mind. So no, so this is correct. Okay, so this is the event name and this is the permission. So we do ask read charity. And then in event parser, we do parse channel charity campaign donate. Okay, sorry. So I was looking at like the events, not the required permissions, but are you also subscribed to these messages? That's what fails. The subscription request gets me back from Twitch. Where is it? Message sausage. Where is it? Sub request reply. So for some reason we keep spamming this request apparently, and then we do name channel charity campaign donate code unauthorized. Maybe it's my account that is a little bit bored. Let me try this. Settings, connections, no, security and privacy. I swear it's here somewhere. Notifications, no. Profile, bro. Where did they hide this shit? So they have it somewhere. They totally have it somewhere. I just don't know where. Smart notifications. Oh, there we go. Okay. It wasn't here. It was just down below. Look, work chat connected 10 months ago. What if I disconnect? Yeah, look. Man, okay, that's actually good. It immediately killed my connection here. I don't see new messages, so I'm gonna close this, start it again. No, bro, what is this thing? Okay, so here's a problem. Here's a problem. These initial setup logic, I have not yet updated to the new TOI framework that I'm using. So we're gonna need to fix it on the fly. Oof, okay. So how do we do this? Let's start from main. What do we do on main with this stuff? We haven't yet initialized Vaxes. So the problem is that we don't have wraparound logic. Yeah, this is all getting squished on a single line. Is this always the case, or is this an artifact? Yeah, it's an artifact of, it's a setting that doesn't get reset. Okay, well, we'll look into it later. Okay, let's see, what does it say? Perform moderation actions in a channel, send like stream messages. Yes, view goal information, channel help train data, polls, predictions, points, bits information, ads schedule, charity campaign details, and user donations on your channel. So we do ask permission for this stuff. Okay, what happens now though? Sub request reply status unauthorized. I don't know. Let's look at the code that gives us that information. Maybe we'll learn something. So get session welcome, subscribing calls this. This sends a request. Do we log it? Yes. Sub request. Oh, we immediately get the reply. Okay. Do we print? Is your version right? This version, you mean? Good question. What's my version? So version gets passed in 1. What do they have? The subscription type version 1. 401 unauthorized client error response status code indicates that the request was not successful. Oh my fucking god! You know what it is? Now that you mention it, I'm starting to suspect I know what it is. I think it might be this. So let's remove bearer from there, because this is something that I changed at some point and I fixed elsewhere, and maybe turns out that I fucked up also there hardcore and never fixed. There is no spam coming from the WebSocket. Only the keep alive. It means that it succeeded at subscribing the first time. So thank you. That message made me think of that possibility that I didn't think about in the beginning, which is I changed what I write down. Like if I write down, if I include in what I write down, like bearer or not, and changing that has caused all kinds of funny shit. So now that you see that we don't do anything, we don't need to do this anymore. This can become just token. Now, the only way, the only real way to test this is once we're going to see some notification coming in from WebSockets. So once we're going to see a charity donation notification, we're going to know for real if it works. There's also subs, right? I don't remember where we get subs from. What is the other event that we subscribe to? Follows. Oh, right. Okay, so the other one is follows. But the problem with follows is that I have them disabled. Maybe I could restart Borg. I could enable them and restart Borg. And so we can get notifications from follows. Let's go do that. Okay. Any brave soul interested in following the channel? Somebody who is not following, been following the channel yet? I know this was all a very convoluted trick to get more follows. I'll come clean, but there we go. That works. This was entirely on me. This was me being dumb. I apologize. You can unfollow, follow. Up to a certain degree. I think that if you do it again, it's not gonna spam the notification more. Thank you everybody for trying this stuff out. Like I think so. I think there are two aspects to it. I think that Twitch says that they don't guarantee that that I will get multiple notifications, but they actually do send multiple notifications, and I do the duplication in my code. In my code, I had to add this. Let's see, where is the code? I'll show you. Subscribe to event. It's around here. It's in the handler. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, look, follower. Okay, I look at the scene followers, and if I haven't found one, I will pump out the notification. Otherwise, if I see a match, I don't do the notification. But I had to implement it my way. On my end. Okay, so we're slowly getting better. We still don't know why updating that freaking token makes the HTTP client fucking die. Why is that? We still have that problem, and we don't know how to fix it. Okay, so we can close some things. So some things were solved. Some others were not. What do we want to do maybe? So I added some extra logging. So you know what? The good news is that about 1 hour from now, what's going to happen is that live chat will error out somewhere at some point. And so at least everything that can cause us to move to the error state, because if you remember, we moved to the error state about 30 seconds earlier than the actual refresh failure. So long story short, it's actually not that function the problem, because that function errors out at a point in time where some weird error has already happened. What exactly? We don't know. But something like that did. And I think it has to do with some, I don't know, weird HTTPS client thing that we're not doing correctly or something like that. Not sure though. In any case, we have more logging, so we're gonna catch it this time. I guess we can finally go back to our static site generator and keep working on that one. So I was creating some sections to be able to repro a bug that I was told about. So let's continue doing that. Although, you know what? Maybe I should merge some PRs first. No, let's continue with this. It's fine. So index SMD 2025 index 2024. Yes. Okay. So I'm gonna copy this, and in the archive, first post. Is the ability to make fixed buffer allocator work at comp time coming to 0.14? What are you doing with a fixed buffer allocator at comp time? No, CM. Tell us the truth. What are you doing with a fixed buffer allocator at comp time? What evil metaprogramming are you attempting? Okay, so we have our setup. Now we need templates for these guys. I think we can leave index for most of them, but for the pages, we want something special. I'm going to call it special.html. So now calling zbuild serve should... oh, actually, wait. We need to update our version of Zig. Zig default master. Zig up default master. There we go. Toter Tats, thank you for the follow. Wanted to use std JSON like comptine, but uses the allocator interface. I see. Yeah, use Zone instead of JSON. Yeah, it was just merged. Both comp time and runtime. There's APR from Mason Remali that I'm like merged. It's a tiny bit broken. Are you saying that you merged broken code? Is that how it is? Then I should contribute more. If you guys are fine with merging broken code, I should contribute more. Okay, let's see. We need to create a template for this. Okay, let's watch it fail to build first. Yeah, correct. Unable to find the layout. This layout, correct. So let's go create it. I don't know. I wasn't pressing that button anymore, and it was kept spamming. SHTML. Dude, where's my L? Okay, having weird trouble with my KVM. Okay, so we have this file. Now everybody's happy, except that the file well doesn't print shit, so that's not great. Let's make it better. Look at those delightful HTML error messages. This is my language server in action. I love this experience. Okay. So HTML body. What do we want to do in here? I guess we can print the contents. So that should be a good starting point. If we go here and we click this and we open it in space, and you know what? Maybe let's resize the browser like this. Make this smaller. And here we go to this URL. Can I mutate it? I have to go here, huh? I think. Okay, so now I'm in the first post from 2024. Okay. Let's look at the second post. So to repro what we were told about, we will need to go to 2025. I think it's called second. Yes, this is the second post. It's still using the wrong template. So let's go change this. So we have this. Next, let me look at the repro message that was sent. So this causes a crash in Borg. Maybe, you know what, let's not do the full body. Let's say that it's a div inside a body. And let's say that below this, there's another div. And in here, we have this. There we go. Panic while trying to read the page index. Yes, that's what I assumed. So we're trying to access a page index, but we failed to do so. That's bad. Yeah. Okay. So what's happening is this. The code here is trying to say from the current page, access the parent section, and then check if it has a previous. That means that basically we're going from 2025. This is gonna run also on the other blog post, on the 2024 blog post. But for now, let's go and let's just focus on our like current experience. And the current experience is in 2025. We're trying to do as prev, and it should give us true. In this case, we are panicking, but we don't know which file we are. No, okay, we are seeing this. It's 2025. Okay, so while trying to do the 2025 page, we try to call has prev, which requires us to consult a index where we write down this information, and we fail to do so. We fail to do so because we are under archive, yes. And I guess /s/01. Okay, so I need to remember how my index is structured. And then I need to figure out if we are generating it wrong or we are consulting it wrong. It has to be at least one of the two. So I think S stands for sections, maybe. I think the problem is that in my website, I have like the blog is kind of flat, so it's not a subsection. So let's ignore all this numbered stuff. Let's look more into archive. This is what we care about more, I think. Inside of archive, we have 2024, 2025, and then a couple files. So here we're trying to access archive S01. We do have archive 01. We don't have archive S01. Should there be something inside archive S01? Not sure. Not sure. Not sure at all. Let's try to see what's in archive 01. What I would expect to find in archive 01 is the 2024 index and the 2025 index. So I think 01 should contain 2024S and 2025S. Let's take a look, I guess. Cat S/archive/01. Yeah, it contains 2020. They are in the wrong order, but I think that's because I didn't give them proper dates. I need to give them the right dates. So archive. the 2025 needs to be set in 2025 so that they get the proper ordering, and the 2024. What? And 2024 needs to be set in 2024. No, there is no way that this has worked. This should still be crashing. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, if I cat now, they are in the right order because they are ordered by date, but growing. Now, so this is all correct. The problem is that we're trying to access this in the wrong location. Why do we think that we need to do /s? Why do we think that we need to do that? What does this nested /s mean? Let me think. So once we are inside the first /s, we have archive. Archive contains these sequence number indices for next and prev. And then it contains a subdirectory for each subsection. But then why does it contain S? They all contain S with nothing inside. There's nothing ever inside any of these S's. Once we enter the first S, there's no content inside their sub S's. Should there be? I am not sure. Well, I mean, there's also a TK, translation key. That one is fine for it to be empty. Yes. Yeah, we need to figure out. I need to remember what was my original intent to understand if the problem is that this file is actually supposed to be inside /s or if not. Out of curiosity, if I just do has prev, that one will not be a problem? If I just do has prev, that's not a problem. Script result mismatch. Right. $if is not set. Yeah, that's true. Wait, is there really not an optional version of this? No, there can't be because right. Built-in not found. Next page. And then here's a panic. And we're doing the same. We're trying to enter S. Okay. So I think in general it works. I guess I can do this. I can do if page section dot draft dot not. And then here we don't have $if, but we do still have page dot parent section. So we can do this. And it's the 2025 index. And that is indeed correct. So this first part works completely as intended. It's the second part that makes us go out of whack. Has prev makes us poop ourselves. Okay, so we have our work. Let's go look at the source code now. So what do we watch first? Do we look at the generation code or the consultation code? I think that the code that generates these files should be our starting point, and I think the more authoritative source, I think. So that would mean build slash content. And in here, this is where we build this index stuff. Translation key index. Index dir path, yes. Subpages index under S. That's the subpages index directory. Where do we pass it? We give it to scan variant. Okay, where does scan variant use it? It ensures the directory exists, and that's it. Wait, what? Subpages variant index there. So then when do we use it? We call section.write index. Okay, so write index tries to do this. Let me widen this a bit. Let's take a look at what we're doing here. So this is section write index. So what is a section? A section is a content subpath plus a list of pages. Yes. So write index will have, this guy will at least have a for loop for the prevnext index. Okay, so here we're writing the prevnext index where we're creating a bunch of pages in the form number underscore number. These are the things that we're looking at. Are we on the newest master with Zine or same version as the one used with Borg? It's the latest master. Although right now, as I'm developing, I don't think I have pushed. No, I have pushed that fix. So yes, if you pull master branch, main branch Zine, you will get you will need latest Zig as well. But now that I think about it, I had just a stale dependency still around that wasn't being updated that broke at some point recently. So I took that one out. So actually, even if you have a slightly older version of Zig, it will still work. Okay, so we create the page file. So we call section.create file, and that's it. But what about the S stuff? What about creating a S subdirectory? Let's take a look. Create file S. So this is the index file, I think. Wait, am I dumb? I might be dumb. I think that S is not a directory. The top one is a directory. I think these guys are files. You know what? I think this guy is a file. Of course it is a fucking file. Oh my god. Of course it is a file. So that means that the error is 1000% in the consumption code. So the consumption code is inside. It's probably layout / cache. There we go. Next prev, we prepare the page name. And this is where the problem is. I bet you that one of these things contains the /s that we don't want. And then we try to read file and we panic, error while trying to read page index. So the problem is that one of these components has a little bit too much in it. So let's, I guess, log this. So we're logging dep, all of this stuff. But we should probably log a little bit more. We should probably log up maybe a little bit more because we need to know. Well, I was about to say we need to know who contains this thing, but I think that it's this guy. It's parent section path, page meta parent section path. Page meta parent section path. Use when doing parent section. That's the path, and we'll call page find. Although it kind of surprises me now, this should not have the /s in it. What? How does the /s end up in there? I think we need some logging in here. Like we really need some logging. So let's go do that. Yo, what do you think about aerospace? Are you asking like in general, aerospace is in aerospace engineering, or is there a product called aerospace? Okay, so we got our debug print. A product for window management in macOS. I'm not using anything specific to manage to the window management on macOS. The styling that you see, I'm doing manually because it's for streaming purposes. I can see using something like this. I mean, on Linux, I use i3, which is a tiling manager. So sure. But other than that, I don't have an opinion. Sorry. I don't use this stuff. Okay, so we have some logging set down, and now we need to remember how to enable logging because we are not, I need to pass, I think, dlog. And then we need to give this guy a name, right? What is this guy's name? Layout cache. Okay. So we want zig build dash dlog or dscope. Dscope equals layout cache. That's a spam. The good news is that now we run it the second time, and all the other ones are going to be done already, and it only is going to print only from our thing, which in this case, it picked up the 2024 one first, but that's fine. So let's see what are these things. So page index dir path, that is correct. Prefix is nothing. Yeah, look at this. Meta parent section path is archive/s. That's the problem. It's archive/s, and it should not be archive/s. So I guess the next question is, whose fault is it? Who's passing in the bad info? Let's see. On this, from the CLI, when we call layout, we pass in a bunch of information, but I don't know if we pass information about the parent section of this current file. Maybe we can take a look. But as you can see here, we don't seem to be mentioning the parent section really at all. Or rather, maybe we do, but it's... Wait, archive 2024. I think this is the parent section. Wait a second. Are we just having completely wrong information in that field? Let me think for a moment. Okay, I'm looking at the 2024 blog post. What is the parent section of the 2024 blog post? It's actually 2024. Well, archive/2024. It's actually that, the parent section. It's not archive, because 2024 has its own index file. Page meta parent section path. For this guy, it needs to be archive/2024. How is this so broken? I think in a sense that /s is the problem, it's wrong. Okay, so who fills in that information? That information is filled out when we create a page. Where do we create the current page? It's still going to be in layout cache. Let's take a look for a moment in layout, but I'm pretty sure that we very quickly transition back. Like from here, we call into cache, so it won't take long. So here we have parent section path, 18th argument, and we pass it in as we call pages get. Here we have the parent section path. We pass down to load page. And then we say parent section path is either what you pass in or something that we figure out ourselves. I guess the idea is that now we continue logging, basically. That's what we do now. Let's see, load page content. Archive first SMD, analyzing it, took 0 seconds. Load page, blah, blah, blah. Parent section index file path. PS, this guy. Parent section index file path. Oh, so this guy is, wait. Parent section index file path. B8. Archive/s. Oh, God. archive/s. Okay, what's in archive/s then? Yes, this is the section index. So this is correct. This is okay. I think I understand what's happening. At some point, we're confusing the parent section path with the parent section index file path, which are two different things. Maybe we don't. But what's funny is also that here, like, we do pass this information as an argument. I don't know. Should I print PSP? I guess. Let's print the PSP. And let's see what happens. So we need to build this twice, I think, unless we fail to build. Oh, I forgot a specifier. What? Oh, it's an optional. Oh. Percentage means missing, I guess. Okay, so now we build everything again, but that causes a lot of spam. We don't care, so we run it once more. And now only one of the failure cases gets run. So PSP is archive 2024. Okay, so far, this is correct. This is archive. How do we at some point fuck it up so much? PSP. Wait, that makes sense. Okay, what's going on is that for our page, right? So we start from the page that we're currently analyzing, and that happens correctly. But then, okay, this all is starting to make more sense. Yes, but then we are asking for the parent section, which causes us to load this page, and the parent section is represented by the index page. So yes, that gives us the parent section, but then in this case, we fuck it up. In this case, we try to compute the parent section path, but we actually get the wrong value because we actually put there not just archive, which would be the correct value, but we put there archive/s. So it's the PSP code. It's the PSP block that does something wrong. So let's take a look at what happens. So, okay, we're saying if the current page is not a page that ends with index.smd, no, okay. Here we're saying if the page is the index, is the website index, then there is no parent section. So we immediately break out with null. That's a special case. The website's index doesn't belong to any section. Then path to hash. So we compute the hash, and we correctly find the PS index. And then what we return is PS path. And we obtain the PS path by reading that file. Yeah, that's wrong. That is wrong. Okay, I get it. Okay, I get it. I get it. I get it. I get it. Because we look at the file, the contents of that file with a hash, but that file points at something different. It contains, yeah, it points at something different. Oh man. I guess one way of fixing it would be to just remove that component and just do their name, I think. Literally just this. std.fs.path.their name, I think. Strip the last component from a file path. If the path is a file in the current directory, not directory component, then returns null. I think it would be this. Although we don't want the FS one. Oh, god damn it. We want one that is platform agnostic. Wait, do we have join in here? Like my join? Okay, where's join defined? Zine.join. We import Zine. So we have a root in here. We have join. Do we have our own dir name? No, we don't have our own dir name. I guess we can steal that from the standard library. Because we want the POSIX one. Is this public? It is public, so we could do their name POSIX every single time. Honestly, that would be fine. So their name POSIX. Okay. Does this return us a trading slash or not? That might be something that I need to change. No, it removes trading slashes. That is awesome. Let's see. Still failing. What's happening now? Let's see. PSP Archive 2024. Panic IO. Dep. Panic IO in load page. Pages get cache 1072. Uh-oh. We're relying, I think, on that value being with an S down below. 1072. Who's being naughty there? Let's see. Oh, so we are analyzing. As we are analyzing, Meta IST question mark IDs contains hash. Panic IO. I think that I'm not being pointed at the correct location. I see a Panic IO here. Sorry, which file are we also looking at? Archive first. I think there's a few Panic IOs around. I don't think this is the only one. Let's see. Yeah, there's one here. Although this is before we get here. Do we print the app colon stuff before panicking? Yeah, we do print this. So this is okay. So it's an IO that happens south of this. IIS, let's see, indexing section. Oh yeah, look at this. It looks at the PSP. Oh, I think I'm starting to understand what's going on. Yeah, we're doing a dump. We are conflating two concepts together. That is bad. That is absolutely bad. So how do we do this? The way I would do it is how do we do this? Yeah, we are just conflating concepts, man. What a stupid mistake to make. So the problem is that the PSP here, if it's given to us without this /s. We could force this to always have this /s in it. So maybe what we should do is that the build system always gives it to us with a /s, in which case we don't do this. We just do ps path, and that's fine. And then we use it correctly in here, but then down here, we don't do PSP, but we do std.fs.path.dirname POSIX. That's maybe what we can do. So in content, the 18th parameter that we pass around, parent section path, needs to be add arg pp. Actually, you know what? I don't think I need to use the POSIX one. I think it's correct to use their name regardless, because this is a file path, so that's fine. So this is going to be, oh, but don't tell me that I'm using my join here. I am using my join, so I should use my join also here. Okay. Okay. So in here it is POSIX. Okay, maybe we have actually set it up correctly. Expected type found error. Oh. Really? We need to try? Oh, it's catch unreachable. Okay. Bit of a hack. But still better than the alternatives, I think. Expected type consuate, found optional consuate. Man. Yeah. So cache. We succeeded. We actually succeeded. So now if we start serving, okay, I'm not sure if we fully succeeded, but at least we succeeded enough not to panic. Whether we are doing the right thing or not, that's a different story. Let's try to get that happening and make that happen now. Let's see. So in our special HTML, if parent section has prev, then we wait, has next. Wait, what? Do you really not care? Oh, okay. What was I doing wrong earlier? So has next works. Wait, has prev? It doesn't work because of the sorting. That is weird. So wait, next page. There's something wrong here. There's something wrong. We are not doing this correctly. There's something about the ordering that is wrong. We are printing ourselves. We're going to the parent section. We're calling next page, and that returns us. Oh my god, I'm a fucking moron. Wait a second. And oh my, okay. 2025 index. No. Prev page? Nothing. Next page, index. Out of curiosity, what happens with 2024? Prev page returns itself. Nah. This seems wrong. Let me think for a moment. So we are the first post in 2024. We go up to the parent section. So we are the 2024 index page. So if we do then next or prep, one of the two, I would assume next. If we do next on that index, then it should give us the 2025 index. But we're not getting this result because we're consulting some source of information that it's giving us bad advice. I'm kind of surprised that this is so buggy, considering the next and prev works correctly on my website. Like, how could I leave so many bugs? So I guess the solution here is to just look at how the index is generated, and probably I suspect that we're gonna find something wrong there. Although, you know what, let's try to let's try to derive let's try to see how we are supposed to use it on our own. So the way we are supposed to use it is that once we get a page, once we get the parent section page, I suspect that we're getting the parent section page and we're getting bad information about its ID. I think that's kind of it. And so, yeah, we're getting some bad information, or there's some bad information about the ordering. Out of curiosity, it would be basically archive 01 and archive 12. Let's see if this information is correct in these things. 01 basically means that if you are 0 and you call next, you open 01 and you look at the second index. And that gives you correct information. If you are 1 and you ask for prev, you open 01 and you look at the first line. If you are instead 1 and you ask for next, then you open 12 and you look at the second line, which is missing. So the index information seems correct to me. This is what I would expect. But I think the problem is that we think we are the wrong index. Now the question is, how do you discover which index you are in? And the answer is the S file. Archive S says that 2025 has index 0 and 2024 has index 1. And that's not exactly true. It should be the opposite. I think this is the problem. I think this is at least one problem. I think they should be sorted differently, maybe. No, I'm actually not wrong. No. I think this sorting is okay because it's sorting that it's used elsewhere. I think now that I think about it, this is probably sorting that it's used that it's leveraged elsewhere, so it's fine. But I think we derived the wrong number from it. I think it's the other block. So after PSP, we do this thing, and I think with this, we're trying to find the index number thing. IDX starts at 0. Hello, Temporus. Index starts at 0. But it is incorrect, I think. That is incorrect. That I think is absolutely incorrect. So here's what we need to do. Okay, so we do this to find where we are, and that's IDX. But then we need to do total. So var total starts at IDX, and then we do while it.next. We increase total. We discard whatever we get. We don't care about it. And then we do IDX. And then we don't save IDX. Oh no, we are straight up breaking. No, we don't break the block. We break from this while loop. And then we break. Maybe we, okay. I get it. So this needs to be else. If we don't break from this while loop, then it's a panic. If we do break, then we're good. We just need to complete the file to discover how many items are there in total. And then we break the block with total minus IDX. And I think that's our actual number. Value of type usize ignored. Oh yeah, we break. We don't care about that. Okay. Okay, so this all seems to work. Let's see if this works as intended. So 2024 doesn't have a prev, but if we do next, then it should give us 2025. It doesn't. Oh shit. Okay, just give me Zig build server, please. Okay, so this gives me 2025. Prev gives me nothing. Net gives me 2025. Let's go to the other one. $2025 has nothing because it doesn't have a next. And as a prev, it has the 2024 index. That is perfect. So this is the section. And then we can do sub pages dot at 0. Boom. Built-in not found. It really? How do you get sub pages from a section page? Who made this system, man? Sub pages. Okay, wait. Am I going insane? Oh, is it because prev page is an optional? Fuck, it's an optional. That's the problem. I see. Okay. We go. And that gives me the first post from 2024. And if I go do the opposite, this gives me nothing. But if I do next, it gives me the 2025 post. Okay. So we have fixed page navigation across section boundaries and discovered that 2 out of 2 mechanisms required, like 2 out of 2 code paths that were navigating the index did so wrongly. Delightful. What a stupid bug to leave there. Now, final smoke test. Is my blog still working? Let's go back to the normal part of my personal blog. Is this still vaguely working? It is. So this sorting is correct. Archive home, ignore it because it's yeah, that's the test parts that of the website that I just added. So this is sorted correctly. Let's see if our next prep pages are still working correctly here. Yes. Yes. So I didn't regress things terribly, it seems. I just fixed code that was wrong when navigating to a parent section, when trying to navigate the page structure through other pages, which is something that you don't normally do much, that I don't do anywhere in my code, and I guess we don't do that even in the Zig website. So I guess that's why these things were a little bit wonky. I guess that's going to be my excuse. So we can commit. So we do total minus IDX to, by the way, which is, this is also something that could be a to do because we could write down the count at the very top. So that way we just do that number minus. So that we don't need to scroll. We don't need to parse the entire file. That's probably a good idea. Do total minus IDX because the sorting order in a S file is newest to oldest, which is the inverse of what the prev next page index does. To do, change the index file format to start with the total line count so that we can turn this full file scan into a constant time operation. We actually didn't even touch that many things. It's mostly debug logging. So you know what? I'm gonna nuke that line. So it's cache zig 200 something. Move the panic around, wrote that down. Got some auto formatting kick in. That's it. with the wrong value set. Oh, you know what? Without the, I guess without the dash. With wrong values set with wrong section path slash index. Oh, that's it. Okay. Okay. So that was great. I'm actually very happy. I think I'm going to stop the stream here. We were able to fix some Zine bugs that were reported that were a blocker for somebody. And now they're not anymore. And it's getting close to dinner time for me. So, yeah, I'm happy. I would say everything went well. So, let's see. Is anybody streaming any Zig? Well, you know what? I think I'm just going to be lazy and not raid. I mean, nobody can stop me from doing that. So that's what I'll do. Well, thank you, everyone. At the end of the day, despite everything, this was a pretty productive stream, I feel. YouTube, sorry if you guys sent other messages. But no, you guys did not send any other message. So maybe YouTube was still working. Let me try, test. Is YouTube still up? It's not. I'm waiting for any countdown, but no. Apparently, I guess we errored out at some point, and then and that's it. Well, that's unfortunate. Sorry, YouTube. Next day, we're gonna solve it eventually. Thank you all, and see you next time. Bye bye.